Hey guys, it's me, Shao. Now, after thinking, I wanted to try like kind of like a mini series, I guess if you think of it like that way, where the series is going to call where I just share my thoughts about a series after I finish a game. I'll just share my thoughts about it. It's not really a review per se. It's just just sharing my thoughts and stuff. So I'm thinking of calling it the Afterthought series. So for this one, So, so I want to start off with an afterthought of Nexomon. Now, what I think about Nexomon is I actually really like um, Nexomon One, but the thing about Nexomon One is that you know I really liked Pokemon, right? I do, and the thing is though I've never really found um, a really a Pokemon replacement at all. Uh, but I feel like Nexomon One comes close, and to be honest, I do because there are a few things I like um, about Nexomon One that I feel like uh, that I think I like over Pokemon. For example, I do like the stamina system. I do prefer that over PP in Pokemon. I just feel like as long as you balance uh, your moves, you could do you can go pretty far, which is what I like. Because the thing about Pokemon is that usually you just take your strongest attack that does the most damage, and does and use PP ups to increase the usage of it so that you can wipe out a whole bunch of mons. Uh, No, Nexomon is kind of works the same way. I feel, except I do feel that the stamina version I feel like is a little better. Um, and I also feel that Nexomon is more cost efficient uh, 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 playability, in terms of like actual combat. But I mean that what I mean like that is basically cost efficient. What I mean by that is that you only have to govern one stat, unlike Pokemon or for example. Say you use a PP restore, right? You have to choose between your four moves. So you have to choose between. So let's say Kadabra, right? So I would assume that the four moves are Psychic, the heavy hitter move, right? And then you have a buff move like Calm Mind, right? So that's two moves. And then you have something like I think it's called Miracle Eye or something, which allows you to hit dark types, right? So it allows your psychic Pokemon to hit dark types, right? So that's three, and then you probably have a recovery move or a backup or backup attack move. So you either have recover or Psybe, or maybe confusion. No one usually uses confusion. I mean, I guess you could, but from my opinion, no one. I don't think anyone really uses confusion confusion over Psybe. Me, right? Now, if you now you have to choose between those four moves, right? And only that works. But if you use Nexomon, all you have to govern is just your SP, not your SP, your stamina. Uh, it's just your stamina, and you only have to govern that. So what I mean cost efficient is you only have to buy a stamina restore potion, and you can use any move you want. The only difference is the cost, right, of whatever said move, and also because of that, I feel like Nexomon would has a little bit more. You can do a little bit more with Nexomon, in my personal opinion, because that way, right, you can have, for example, for Nexomon, you can have one attack move, only one, right? Because like I said, all because since you're because all it consumes is not PP, just stamina. Attack a move. Then you can have a debuff move, and then you can have a status alignment move, and then you can have a recovery move, right? Now, I mean, you can do it in Pokemon as well, but you know what I mean. But you're only covering one bar, and you don't have to worry about anything else, right? Now, there is kind of like, in my opinion, there is kind of like an offset to that, like a bad side, is that uh, you since you're all sharing, right? Since sharing a seminar between all four moves, um, you really have to pick your moves carefully, because you're sharing you're sharing one resource, right? Stamina for all four of your moves. So you really have to pick it out. You just can't. You really can't just. Well, I guess you can, right? If you don't mind going back constantly and recover, I guess you can. But for progress, it makes it so that you can go back. I guess technically Pokemon you can do the same thing. So I guess now we think about it now, there's not really that much of a difference. But still, I do like the stamina form more. The stamina form more. Now there are some things I didn't like about Nexomon, for being honest. Honest. Now there is kind of like the fourth wall breaking, which I understand I understand the comedic purposes of the fourth wall breaking, but personally, I never really liked it because I felt like it was building up a story, and and it would and you're breaking up the story for the fourth wall breaking, which which I didn't really like because for me, when it comes to game story, I like a fluid story. I really do, and and it's just that I feel that you you're going through the story, you build up a climax, you're trying to beat Omnicron, and I guess and also in a sense the Nexalord, right? And then all of a sudden to like cut the tension and be like, hey, why are you spinning like that? It's bad when you get an item, right? I do no, don't get me wrong. I get the meta joke. I really do. I really get the meta joke, but it just I don't really like how it kind of cuts into the story though. Um, you know, but it's not bad. Now, in terms of uh gameplay, I do like it. Now, I do like it. I do like Nexomon. Mostly because unlike Pokemon, where you couldn't catch every Pokemon in one game, um, you can in Nexomon, and that's one of the things I do like. And Nexomon in itself is actually a very fun game, and I think it's a very fun game. The story is good, except for the fourth wall breaking. I don't really like that, but overall, but besides that, besides those small, fourth wall breaking, because fourth wall breaking, it's not bad. It's really not that bad. Um, um, it's not really that bad. So I do feel overall it's a generally good experience. But for those who play Nexomon one, I think that there a little confusion could happen, because people who play Nexomon one usually have played Nexomon two Extinction first. So I think that does cause a little bit of confusion. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nexomon two is a better game than Nexomon one. It really is, with custom mode, and it's just you can, and with the sleep function or rest function. I don't remember which one it is, but it lets you restore a lot more stamina, um, which I believe you can do in Nexomon one. But I think but through the wait command. I think I'm not 100% sure, but but um, no. The wave command's in next one too. Sorry, no, there's no way to recover SP stamina in next one. Sorry, right? SP. The only way to restore SP is through battle. Basically, for basically when you run out of SP and you don't have enough to make a move, if you choose a move, your next one goes into like a kind of like a waiting type thing, and then it restores stamina. Now, next one too, there is a rest feature where you can skip a turn. All right, so you give up your attack phase, right, you give up your attacks and everything to restore some stamina. It's usually about, I think it's about like 10 stamina, I think roughly. No, that's for next one. Sorry, when you screw up the thing, I think it's like 10 to 20 stamina. And for next one too, I'm not really sure, but I think it's like 10 to 20 as well. But I'm not really sure. But the difference between 1 and 2 is that the wait command, which allows you to give up your attack to get more stamina. So yeah. Hmm. And I think that's I'm going to end my afterthoughts for this one here. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.